Hi. I've been having some nudgings lately to make another video. This one's a little more spiritual and very personal, but if my story and experience can inspire or give hope to somebody else, then I'm all about it. So here's my story. For the last several months, I've been training for a half marathon. It was supposed to take place last Friday. Sunday. I was supposed to fly out of New York State, fly to South Dakota with my friend, my husband, her boyfriend, meet my cousin, and just have a great time. Well, as life sometimes happens, our best made plans don't always work out. What I want to really talk about today is listening to our intuition, and even taking that one step further, divine intuition. So how do we know when God is trying to tell us something or the universe is trying to tell us something? Because obviously we have our own parts of us. We have, in my case, I have the athlete part, the runner part, the adventurous part that couldn't wait to go embark on this adventure. Well, what happened was last week, my husband Jim, his father, started having some major health problems, and he wound up in the emergency room, and we discovered that he had some major blockage in his heart. So it was all up in the air. Okay, he needs surgery. Is he healthy enough for surgery? Are they going to be able to do it? Blah, blah, blah. And meanwhile, we have a plane to catch. My husband, with my encouragement, canceled going on the trip with all of us. And this was a very difficult decision for him to make and for me to make. So here's where the signs started happening. Thursday was an agonizing day. We still hadn't made up our minds yet. We didn't know what was going on with his father. But I was looking at my AccuWeather app. I never look at anything besides my little local area. And for some reason, at the bottom of my screen was this map of South Dakota, where we were going, with this bright red swath of horror. It looked like going right across Rapid City for the next day. Tornado warnings, high wind, bad thunderstorms, hail, tornado for Rapid City, which is where the plane was landing. I've also been hearing lots of horror stories, people getting stuck in airports. It's just a kind of a mess flying right now, I've been hearing. So, okay, there was that little niggling, I don't want to land in a tornado or not be able to take off from O'Hare and be stuck in Chicago. Okay, so that's going on. My husband decided, okay, I'm canceling my ticket. When he went to contact the airline, inadvertently, he clicked on an ad which pretended to be United Airlines and almost got scammed into going to Walgreens and buying a $500 United gift card. So quickly he realized what was going on and hung up. Well, the scammer then canceled my flight too. So I'm thinking, okay, I don't think I'm supposed to go on this trip. But my husband was very much, you have to go. You've trained for this. Just because I'm not going to go, I don't want your good time to be ruined. You need to go. So he got on the phone, again, on hold forever, reinstated my ticket, but then my seats going out and coming back were all gone. He kept trying to reinstate a seat for me on the plane, kept getting kicked out of the app. Okay, this is kind of making me think, hello, I don't think I'm supposed to go on this trip. I ended up calling my dad. So my dad also has health issues. He's recently been diagnosed with a serious progressive, non-treatable lung disease. So for him to have any kind of exposure to COVID is like bad. So my dad was like, it's, you know, the variant is just exploding. It's probably not a good idea for you to travel. He really didn't want me to take this trip. I have a history my whole life of being a rebel and doing what I want to do, even though my parents didn't want me to do things, I would do them. So I had that in my mind too, like, well, really agonizing. Here's the part that just, if I needed a sign, this was the one. As most of you know, I am a Monarch mama. I have milkweeds galore. I have chrysalises hanging inside my house to give the monarchs a chance. I had a chrysalis hanging on the garage. I saw it as a caterpillar, saw it as a chrysalis. The same morning it had hatched. Oh, it's hanging there. Cool. I left, came home. Where's the monarch? I looked in the driveway. I had run it over. I flattened it. Never knew. But I'm like, why? Why would this happen? My father not wanting me to go, my daughter not wanting me to go, the struggles with the arrangements, the threat of tornado, all of that was huge. But that monarch flattened. That was like God nudge all the way. Like, Cal, this one's personal. This one's for you. So I had great peace in canceling. My husband was really frustrated with me. But I said, just cancel it. I'm not going. Yes, you are. No, I'm not going. I'm going to be here for your dad. I'm going to be here for my dad. It's just not a wise choice for me to go. Well, good news. Jim's dad had open heart surgery that day that we were supposed to fly out. It went really well. He's recovering well. Guess what? There are absolutely no tornadoes in Rapid City. Don't ask me where that came from. And my dad was just very relieved, and my whole family was very relieved that I wasn't going to take this trip. Now here's the really cool part too. The next morning, the day of the half marathon, when my cousin and my friend, the same time they were taking off for the real race in South Dakota, I decided I trained for this marathon. I'm going to do my own half marathon and run from our house 13.1 miles away. Well, Jim knew about it, and my parents knew about it. So I had zero expectations. Running along, it was a very humid morning. And as I'm coming down the hill towards where my destination was, imagine my surprise when there's a whole little crowd of my peeps, my family, my kids, my aunts and uncle, parents, and they were there honking the horn and just cheering me on. So it was super special. And the other cool thing, my dad was kind of waiting there by the finish line tape that they'd had set up for me. And he was going to like sprinkle water on me. I said, Dad, run across the finish line with me. So he grabbed my hand and we ran across the finish line together. And it was a huge blessing for all of us. So my thought in doing this video is, originally I thought, boy, this is a love letter. It's just a love letter to my family, to my father-in-law, my father. And as I was getting ready to do this video, I found this book. I haven't even read it yet. It's called Divine Intuition. And look at this quote. Let me read it to you. Mother Teresa. We are all pencils in the hand of a writing God who is sending love letters to the world. All the little people involved in this, all the people supporting or giving their heartfelt wisdom, they're all writing God nudges for me and for my dad and for Jim's dad, and just the ripples that go out, how many different people are touched by this experience. So I encourage you to be present with that intuition. It's hard. Like, Thursday was a terrible day. Yelling, crying, being frustrated, just not knowing. Praying for guidance, but being very present and mindful to what's going on. Like, wait, we're being scammed. Wait, I just hit a monarch that hatched in my own garden. Wait, my dad has a serious disease and doesn't want me to go. Wait, Jim's dad is having surgery. Like, my daughter doesn't want me to go. All these things, like, hello, these are signs. In the moment, listening to what's being said around us. It's not easy. And especially when we have all those parts of us, come on, let's just go, it'll be fine. You know, that's my little adventure part, or my little rebel part. And also the part that was like, you trained for this, come on. Very disappointed. But guess what? The disappointment, it went away when I still found a different avenue for all that training. One more little thing I'll share before I stop today. Somebody I haven't seen in months. This person has MS, and she ran a race that was very important and farther than she thought it was going to be, but she did it. And this was months ago. I haven't seen her in a long time, but she crossed my mind the morning I started heading down the road for this half marathon. Wouldn't you know it, 3 miles out from the finish line, I got a text from her. Hey, beautiful, I just saw you. Run a few for me. I was like, what? Talk about little connections and divine interventions going on. Very, very cool. Thanks for listening.